is hello in Italian. I am officially in Italy. I can't believe it, it's crazy. My trip was quite a trip, we'll just say that. So I went from Indianapolis to Toronto, Toronto to Munich, Munich to Florence, and from Florence I took a train to San Germano. San Germano. I hope I'm saying it right. So anyway, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about that trip and let you know that I'm crossing off number 604 on my bucket list, which is to do a whole trip just for Italy. So while I am here as an au pair, on the weekends I have off and I'm just going to travel and explore and get an idea of what it's like in Italy. So also, I never mentioned, but if you can see this big circle in my eye, it's because I have a ring light, which I got for Christmas, and it was on my bucket list to get a ring light slash halo light, whichever one you want to go with. But aside from all of that nonsense, I'll go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about my trip and how it went, because it was honestly, like, it's a good story, I think. So first of all, the flight from Indianapolis to Toronto, super good, nothing wrong. The plane was very small, which, I mean, it was a short trip. It was like an hour 30 or something. And the view was actually really beautiful because it was foggy, but once we got above the clouds were just like so fluffy, like you just want to touch them. And the sky was super blue up there. And I got to Toronto around sunset, so I could see like the sun turning the clouds orange from the top. That was cool. And then I also, once we started to dip below the clouds, I could see like the cars and stuff, and everything was lit up because it was nighttime then at that point, or it was starting to get nighttime. The cars had their lights on, everything, so it was just like it was just beautiful seeing it at night from above. It was beautiful. I have never been to Toronto. That's on the list, but for now, I'll get back to what I was talking about. So, the flight from Toronto to Munich, however, that was a rough one. It was about an 8-hour flight, and the turbulence was kind of bad, and the food, not very good. I didn't get sleep at all. Like, at first I was trying to stay awake so that I could get a meal because I was really hungry. The food, I'm a picky eater, but I don't think that non-picky eaters would like the food. I think that other people would agree with me that the food was not the best. But it was food, so I ate most of what I could handle, which I would say I ate most of the food. And then, so this guy was sitting next to me and he didn't speak any English. He was from Iraq. His name was Ramir, I found out later. We had 4 seats. So there's seats over here, and then the middle. And I was here and he was here. So during the flight, he laid down on these 3 seats, leaving me like all alone. So I mean, nothing wrong with being alone in that situation, but I wasn't very comfortable because I didn't want to like touch him on accident or like elbow him or put my foot up, because his head was literally like touching my leg if I didn't scoot over. But, so he slept like that for a while. I did eventually lay down because he got up, and so I took these 2 seats and he had these 2 seats. So whenever I laid down, I was able to get like a little bit of sleep, like 2 hours of sleep maybe, and he was actually super kind. He put like a blanket over me while I was sleeping, and when I woke up, he had an orange juice and like a little, I still have it. It says Air Canada on it. He like handed it to me whenever I woke up, and he didn't say much because he just like gestured like that he was giving it to me. I just thought it was really nice that he saved the breakfast for me. I just thought it was super kind. But so anyway, he ended up being a nice guy. I wasn't mad, I was just tired. Throughout this trip, I have actually met some really cool people. I've also met some strange people, which I will be getting to. So the flight from Munich to Florence was pretty decent. I had a good view. I got a window seat, nobody sitting next to me, so I laid down on the 2 seats and I went to sleep for that whole hour or so. And then is when the really interesting part happened, because I just got kind of confused. I had to get on a train, and then I had to get on a trolley or a tram, and then go to the train station, and I had to get a train that took me to San Germano. Yeah. So anyway, I got on this train, I got the tickets, I had like 6 minutes, Slim Shady, before I could get on the train. So I was like trying to hurry because I didn't want to be late. I wanted to be kind of early. I went up to a conductor or a guy that was standing in front of the train. I like showed him my ticket. He's like, yeah, and then he almost sent me on. He's like, wait, no, you're on the wrong train. And then he sent me away. So I went to the direction that he sent me, and I got on a train. And then about an hour in, I was like looking at it, and I was looking at my ticket. I was confused because I was like, I feel like I should be off of this train by now. And then, so I looked at this guy next to me, and I said, is this my stop? And he was like, no, actually you're on the wrong train. And I was like, oh crap. So luckily he spoke English, and he wrote out this whole new itinerary for me because he had his Trenitalia app. And so he wrote it down, gave it to me, and he sent me off. I was in Pisa, so I was going the wrong direction, and I had to go back to where I had been, like halfway to where I had been, and then go to the train station called Poggibonsi, yeah, something like that. And so anyway, yeah, thank goodness that guy helped me. He was like, go to that train. Like as soon as it stopped in Pisa, he's like, that's your train, that's your train. He like sent me over there, I ran, and then I ended up sitting next to this really awesome Italian lady. She's like 26, so she was pretty young. And she's really pretty, red hair. I asked her, I was like, do you speak English? She said a little bit, and she started talking to me and explaining to me the best way to go about my next stop and where to get off, and like she showed me her app and what times I needed, and just in case I missed it, like what would be the next time and stuff like that. So she was very helpful as well. So I had the wrong ticket every single train that I was on. I didn't have the right ticket, but thank goodness they did not check my ticket and kick me off the train, because I mean, it would have been stressful. I could have bought a new ticket, but I got lucky. So continuing forward, whenever I get off at the next stop, which I can't remember what it was called, but I got off at this stop, and I had 5 minutes to get to my next train. So I asked someone, like, somebody actually must have overheard me. He said, you are at platform 5. And I was like, oh wow, okay, thank you. And so I ran, and I was looking around, and I asked this old man, tiny, he was very, like 4'8". I asked him, where is platform 5? And he said, where are you? I couldn't really understand him, but I tried to tell him that I was going to Poggibonsi, and that I needed to get on the stop that said Siena, because it's part of Siena, Italy. And he was like, oh, platform 3, platform 3. I was like, no, platform 5. And then he looked at the schedule and it said platform 5. He's like, that's way over there. And so I was like, okay. And I started to run away. I was like, grazie, which is wrong. You're supposed to say grazie, grazie. So he starts coming with me. He like noticed that I was hardcore struggling with my suitcases. I had 2 heavy suitcases. They were both like probably 40 pounds or more. Well, one of them was approximately 48 pounds, and the other one, I don't really know how much it weighed. He is like 20 pounds, so 20 and 40. He like grabbed my heavy one and he starts like carrying it for me. He's like running with me, but he was slow. He was slower. So I get to the other stairs, I had to like carry it up, and then he like gave me my stuff and I ran to the train. I threw my bags on the train. I was like, thank you so much, grazie, grazie. And then he like grabbed my face and kissed me on the cheek, and then kissed me on the cheek close to my mouth, kissed me again. And then he kissed me on the mouth. I was like, is this normal? I don't know. I didn't kiss him back. I just kind of was like, okay, thank you very much for your help. And then he waited outside the train window until I was gone. He was like, mwah, mwah, like making all these gestures at me, like he was super enthusiastic. I don't know. That was definitely a weird moment. But, you know, it made a good memory. So I eventually made it here. It ended up being about almost 18 hours of travel before I got to my apartment. And then I got to eat with the Misachi family, I believe is how it's pronounced. And I went to bed around 9 o'clock here, which is 3 o'clock at home, or 2 p.m. at home. And then I woke up at like 12:30 p.m. Yeah, I woke up noon 30 and I was so tired. I just did not want to get out of bed. I was just exhausted. That dang jet lag, you'll get you, I tell ya. But I'm glad to be here, and I wanted to go ahead and document this, so here I am. And thank you guys for watching. I hope that this whole trip can be entertaining for you, maybe something that you want to come back and watch more about it. So again, grazie for watching, and buonanotte. Buonanotte means good night, so I'm gonna go with that. Arrivederci means goodbye. So arrivederci, friends, until next time.